We are the United Nations headquarters in New York, where leaders from across the world are convening this week for the high-level debate of the 78th General Assembly, which was kicked off this morning by the Secretary General Antonio Guterres, along with other leaders, including President Biden of the United States, President of Brazil, President Lula da Silva, the President of Jordan, as well as South Africa President Ramaphosa, and Nigerian President Bola Tinubu, who will deliver his first speech at the United Nations General Assembly. Senegal President Macky Sall will also deliver a speech today. Algeria President and Mozambique from Africa are some of the leaders that will deliver the remarks at the General Assembly today. President Biden, in his remark, we call for unity, we call for cooperation regarding working together on mutual issues, on mutual global issues such as climate, such as mobilizing financial resources for development in developing countries for infrastructure. The annual UN General Assembly is the preeminent venue for diplomacy for leaders from across the world, for the UN members, more than 190 members, to convene this week to gather to meet and work on issues, on mutual issues, such as one of the focus of this week will be tackling the Sustainable Development Goal, the 17th Sustainable Development Goal that was launched in 2015. President Biden, this is his third speech at the General Assembly, and the President, the U.S. President, will use this platform to galvanize leaders to work together on mutual global issue. But we also use it to reaffirm the U.S. commitment to the foundational principle of the United Nations, particularly the UN Charter and the Universal Declaration for Human Rights. The President also, there's been a lot of call for reforming the Security Council, the UN Security Council. Those are some of the issues that President Biden will talk about during his remarks today. After his remarks, President Biden will meet with the Secretary General Antonio Guterres for a bilateral meeting. Earlier, we spoke with some of the leaders from Africa that are here participating at this event that are here today. We spoke to the Minister of Environment from the Democratic Republic of Congo, who she called for more resources to address climate crisis in our country as well as across African countries. We also spoke with the Finance Minister of Finance from Sierra Leone, who earlier this year we talked to at the IMF WorldBank spring meeting, and again his call again is for reforming the multilateral institution, the World Bank and the IMF, to be able to address the need of developing countries, to be able to address the need of African countries. It said I asked him whether the outcome from the G20 summit, the G20 Leader Summit from earlier this year, whether he's satisfied with that. And he told me in his remarks that more muscle needs to be put behind, it's not just word, more needs to be done to support the African continent. What are you looking for? You are here to attend the UNGA 78. What are you looking forward to hear from leaders today?
Yeah, for today, for DRC, Country Democratic Republic of Congo, we came essentially to let know the world that in this, the climate crisis, actually DRC is the country solution. We need the world to pay attention to us, and also to remind the developing country that they should absolutely stop polluting the world from the warmth of the planet, and as well they should give found for us. We have the solution basis in nature, like rainforest, like water resources and critical mineral resources can bring us, natural resources can bring us to the ecologic transition, energy transition, to give fund to help us to protect the humanity.
You are the Minister of Environment in your country.
Yeah.
Are you working with the US on some of these issues to address the climate crisis?
Yes.
In the Eastern Africa?
Yes, of course. We're working with the US because we have a workshop group. We signed an agreement with the Undersecretary Fernandez for that, to work together to protect the environment, to work together to transform locally our natural resources, can help the world to attain the goal of 1.5 to maintain the warmth of the planet.
Okay.
We're working together.
Yeah. As a woman play a significant role in Africa, and women are significantly impacted by climate. We are seeing, regarding some of the crises that are going on, not just in the Eastern Africa, across the continent. So what are you doing to protect the rights of women when it comes to the climate crisis?
Firstly is to let women to involve in all space of making decision regarding not only the climate change but the governance of the country, the leading of the country. This is the one key to help us to attain all the goal we want.
Okay, thank you very much for talking with us. You are at the UN General Assembly.
Correct.
What are you hoping to hear from leaders today?
I think the main thing with this is halfway through. This is halfway through the SDGs commitment by the international community. We want to see increased resources to developing countries, especially African countries, to be able to bolster their interventions at meeting those 17 SDGs. Okay, and we're looking at more aid resources coming through multilateral partners that can allow them to fund respective country interests, right? To meet all of those, reduce poverty, address education, health, reduce inequality. But also we are seeing multiple shocks now. How do you ensure that those shocks don't derail the efforts of countries? So the only way you're going to be able to do this is by enhancing the capacity of certain institutions through which our countries get access to resources. Those institutions have the muscle to support us under difficult circumstances. So that's the push. We are being barraged by debt. There are a lot of countries, you're having more debt problems. Why? Because the multiple shocks are allowing countries to go out there, step out of limb in addressing those shocks, whether it's climate, whether it's health shocks, and they are becoming very frequent now. So to be able to be on the guard for SDGs, you have to make sure that you are able to support these countries to address the shocks, but at the same time, meet the goals that we have set. So that's what we are pushing for.
Okay. During the IMF WorldBank spring meeting, on the sideline, you call for reform of the multilateral institution,
yes,
including the World Bank.
Yeah.
The recent G20 summit, the US President Biden pushed also for that call,
right,
and several initiatives were launched, including infrastructure and increasing financing,
right,
for developing countries, for Africa. Are you satisfied, not satisfied, are you, where things are right now, are you satisfied in some aspect to what is being done?
So we need more muscle
more muscles.
Yes, in this multilateral institution, World Bank, for example, IMF, for example, African Development Bank, for example, they need more muscle. More muscle by doing what? They have what we call IDA resources or ADF funding. This requires more support from developed partners to make sure that this institution can have more resources to help. But the balance sheet of those institutions as well, they need to sweat them a little bit. Meaning, more proper assessment of the risk that they are ready to take. Because I think countries are exposed already. So the call by Biden is in place. But there's much more to this. Because I think those institutions must be flexible as well in giving relief for debt service. I think they did it when COVID hit. We're looking for those kind of opportunities as well under the current circumstances, because these shocks we are faced with, these shocks are permanent. We don't know when the Ukraine war is going to finish. We don't know when the climate problems are going to be ended. And then we don't know when another pandemic may hit. So that's what we're looking for. They must be ready to always come to help our countries. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. How are you?
I'm great.
It's great to see you. Yeah. So you are going in today, and the G20 summit just ended. Are you happy so far with what the international community is doing regarding mobilizing financing for Africa?
No, I think we have a long way to go, but certainly it's small steps now. But I think the momentum is picking up, and we will continue to lobby to really change the global financial infrastructure.
What are you looking forward to? What are you looking to hear from leaders today regarding the agenda, not just on climate, on helping developing countries in Africa?
So I think we're hoping to hear more about how we should intensify and scale up collaboration between countries, and beginning to ensure that we really unite against the slow progress that we've seen happening. That together, as the world and as Africa, we could really then be in a position to rise up to achieve the goal for better life for people in the continent.
Okay. Are you? I mean, we just came from the G20 summit in India, which South Africa is part of. Are you satisfied so far with the progress and the urgent call for reforming the multilateral financial institution?
I think there's still a whole lot of work that is still to be done, and I think it's work in progress. What needs to really be done, as I indicated, is more, making much more resources available by mainly bringing private sector into the picture, because the fiscus across the countries is quite constrained, and every country obviously is struggling to make the ends meet. So what is crucial is for the reforms to then focus towards bringing the private sector and making it conducive for investors to really be interested in investing in Africa, especially in water, energy, and logistics. And I think those will be things that will trigger the economy to grow at all costs.
Thank you so much for talking with us. This is the 78th General Assembly. What are you looking to do with leaders that are convening here this week?
The most important thing for leaders to think about, according to UNFPA and convening here this week, is women and girls who are demanding full equality, and that means full bodily autonomy. It means education for teen girls rather than being out of school and getting pregnant too early. And it also means that we have to resolve to do something about violence against women. So I really hope that with the leadership of Antonio Guterres, the Secretary General, that the issues of women and girls are going to be number one on the agenda.
Thank you so much.